Hello, everybody. Sorry we're a day late and everyone's $1 short, but here we are. Episode 114, baby. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan. How are you, buddy?
I am great, and it is my fault that we are a day late and $1 short, and I apologize.
No. Your media is here. No need to apologize. You've got it. Mr. Nello is with us.
What's up?
Hey, buddy. My beautiful Tangerine is in the other room. She's indisposed. She'll be back in a minute.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not either. She's pregnant and beautiful, and we all love her and stay very well out of her way.
Oh, yeah. She could technically kill us and get away with it.
In theory, yeah. All she has to do is tell me to kill you.
I mean, she could actually do it and get away with it by law.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, great. How you guys doing?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I'm great.
I'm excited, too.
I love what we're going to talk about today.
Me, too. I'm a big fan.
I rewatched a couple little things yesterday. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Comic-Con.
Oh, gosh. I wish I had been there, but it was this last weekend. But you did go.
I did go.
You represented the Alter Ego podcast at Tampa Comic-Con.
And I wasn't alone.
How many
Someone else from the Alter Ego podcast was there.
No. Mark?
The cyborg I ran into.
No way. Was he helping our good friends at
Seventh Ink?
Seventh Ink?
That they were.
Yay.
And you know what they had there? Ford Supply Company.
Get out of here.
I had to pick up 8 bars on the spot.
Ford Supply Company was there? Is that the one that offers the curated line of craft soaps and beard care, handmade in the USA, offering scents like coffee and cream, coconut, citrus, cedarwood, and many more? Should I check out their full line of craft soap bars, beard oil, and beard balm online at FordSupply.com?
You should.
Will I get free U.S. shipping on all orders over $35 and get an additional 10% off my order with promo code Alter Ego?
Yes, you will.
Oh, that sounds like Ford soap, real soap.
No bullshit.
Woo! That might be our best blog ever. Give me some.
Got it.
We did not plan that at all.
That was amazing, guys.
But yeah, actually, I went and saw the guy at Seventh Ink, and we got to talking, and he's like, how do you know Mark? And I'm like, oh, I just do a little podcast with him, Alter Ego. Might have heard of us, might not have, but
he heard of us, didn't he?
Yeah, he definitely heard of us.
Good.
So then Mark ended up showing up later and had to bring him more soap because I'm like, I'm going to clean you out. Have him bring the re-up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I bought lots of soap and way too many fucking Funko Pops. And I'm not going to drop the F-bomb again. I'm going to try not to, but damn, son.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that makes us miss Tampa Comic-Con, because this year we did miss because we didn't want to make our beautiful princess walk around with that big old belly for 2 days. So we skipped it this year, but we will be back next year. But he saw the cyborg. Megan joined us, by the way, and is not talking into her microphone.
Sorry, I just sat down.
Oh, there she is.
What about this big belly? What are you saying?
You have a big belly filled with human.
Oh.
And you're unpleasant to walk with for more than 10 minutes.
I mean, I guess that's not a fault.
Yeah, dude. There was a lot of walking.
True. It's not true, but it is a lot of walking.
What's the best Funko you bought? You said you bought a lot, but what's the one that you bought that was like, damn, I'm so glad I got
I'll say
this
so.
one?
My two of my favorite Funko Pops of all time, one of them was bought at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. But you go first.
So, as everyone knows or probably doesn't know, I collect only pretty much the Naruto collection.
That's right.
So I just picked up a Itachi Chase Anbu Black Ops.
What?
My most expensive Funko Pop. I ain't never paid $90 for a Funko Pop.
Yeah. That's the
But
only place that we've really
You were like, I've
spent
got to
on
do
them.
it.
And that's the thing.
Right.
Anywhere you go to get it, it's about that price. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's actually here. I'm going to grab it.
Yeah, it's physically here. I can see that it's in good condition. I'm definitely going to buy it.
And the one that I really need, I actually saw, and I was staring at it. My wife's like, no, you're not paying $400 for that Funko
Oh,
Pop.
yikes.
And I'm like, but it's right there.
What Funko
Never.
Pop is worth $400?
This one was
A lot of them. There's
Kurama.
some in this room
Bro,
that
I
are
saw
worth
one for $1,800.
Okay, but what's the one that was worth $400?
Look up our collection.
It was it's the GameStop only Kurama. It's like yellow. I forget what its exact name is called, but that's the one that was $400. And I almost just decided to grab it and be like, I'm fast as fuck, boy. But you know,
I'm a run.
We have some in our room that are quite expensive, but the one I got from Tampa Comic Con was a Marcus, because Gears of War. I love Gears of War. By the way, I'm just gonna put this out here in the universe because the man across from me, he just generates good ideas all the time. Talking about streaming, we were talking about possibly streaming some of our adventures on the old Xbox. And I was going to restart the entire Gears series. Gears of War.
I'd watch.
Yeah?
I'll watch you play Gears.
that's co-op, right?
It is
It is
co-op.
co-op.
And I've always, in every game, I've been Marcus and somebody else has been Dom, like Sean, my brother. He was Dom for years.
He was.
Now we don't play at all, so I don't have a Dom. But I definitely am going to play Dom this time and let somebody else play the main character.
That sounds
I'll
kind
be
of
Dom.
Okay.
unnatural. You got your Dom right here.
All right.
Substitute, not taking over. Just substitute.
No, I got you. So Megan has our list pulled up, and there are a couple that are worth a good amount.
Hold on.
in this room.
Spider-Man right
Your
above you.
most expensive one, is it the Carnage?
No, the most expensive one is.
Or is it the Antivenom?
This anti-venom right here.
Yeah.
He's
Is he
fallen.
still?
No, this guy right here, the symbiote suit Spider-Man, the Christmas.
Oh,
limited
that one
edition
right there, right next to the L Venenoid, who is the what's the term for the Mexican wrestlers?
Oh, the
Luchador?
Luchadors?
The Luchador
Yep.
Venom, which is L Venenoid.
And then Snake Plissken's up there because he was a con one.
Snake.
Solid Snake. He's probably somewhere around here if he's up here.
He is up here somewhere.
Where is Solid
we actually
Snake?
have two of
I
him.
need to take a tour of this room and show all the Funkos that are in here because it's bananas.
It's way bananas.
We have actually gotten to the point where we're just like, no, we're done.
We haven't bought
Yeah,
any in a
because I
while.
actually
We
asked you
haven't,
if you
but-
wanted a couple, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are the obvious ones that we want and need.
We're actually getting ready to get rid of some, and when we do, then we'll be back in the game for a select few.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch. Gears is obviously my favorite collection. I have a whole thing of them out there. I've got a bunch of the rare ones. But the one I got was the Marcus Phoenix, having sawn off and holding a locust head in his hand with the golden lancer.
Damn.
I actually saw Marcus Phoenix and thought of you when I was there. I was like, oh, I bet he already has this, so there's no point of asking.
I have
Yeah,
all
he
the
has all
Marcus
of them, yeah.
Phoenixes. Actually, I have all the Gears Funko Pops they have. All the ones they've made, I have them.
That's awesome. Must be nice.
The one I
It's
got
a smaller collection than Naruto.
The one
so.
I ended up getting from the con
That's
year
an-
before or last year, I can't remember. It was this Thor with Stormbreaker, the one that glows in the dark.
Yeah.
He's gone up like $55. I bought him for 90 something myself, and he's 145 now.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most
Jesus.
expensive ones we've ever bought.
That we've actually paid for.
Right.
And then there's Kate Diaz, the translucent one.
That's one that I got for our birthday.
only
That's a prized one that's out there in a Funko case collector
Yeah,
thing.
they only made 1,500 of that one, and that one I ordered from
Yeah.
somewhere, probably Mercari or Mercury or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
eBay style buying, and I got it for a present because I only spend that for presents or at the con. I
Yeah,
don't
no.
just buy stuff
I
that expensive ever.
could not believe there was an $1,800 pop.
No, there's
And it was
some that
Oogie
are more
Boogie.
than that. There's some that are way more than that.
Oogie Boogie is another one. Yeah, from
There's-
what is it? A Christmas? What is it? The damn
Night Before Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas, yeah.
There's one that there's Freddy Funko, which is the
Oh my God, he's the craziest one to find.
so he is the mascot actually for Funko itself, so Freddy Funko, but they dress him up in all the different characters, and they usually do San Diego Comic-Cons with him
Yeah.
in all these different, like any of the actual pops, and there's a Venom one. I think they only made like 10 of them.
No, 15 of them.
15
is
of
all
them?
there are, and it's worth like
It's
several
worth
thousand.
a ridiculous amount of money. And the last I looked into it, there was a guy that was clearly
He's got 11
probably
of
a millionaire or something like that. He had like 11 or 12 of them because he was hunting them around the world and paying whatever anybody wanted for him. So he's trying to get literally the entire set of them.
He wants all 15 of the
Yeah.
Freddy Funkos with the Venom.
And
Now
it's
I
like
know I
Venom,
need to
Freddy
go
Funko.
find 4 Freddy Funko Venoms.
Legitimately,
Yeah.
I will come with you and find them.
Because that guy will probably pay an absolute effing fortune.
There was
Wanna
a guy
split it?
at Comic-Con last year that had one, and he was like, yeah, I know the guy. He's tried to buy I don't want to sell it from him. Yeah, you do. You're just waiting until the price is right.
Yeah.
Oh no, there are some nut jobs that don't sell things. They just want it for that prestige of saying, I have this, you don't.
Right. Or in our case, we have some, like, if we were to, like, do a massive dump, there are some Funkos that are always going to stay. Like the Deadpool that's out there with the pirate hat on, that one she gave to me on our wedding day. That's not going anywhere.
No.
My Gears ones, my Predators, they're not going anywhere.
Oh, here you go. The most expensive one ever. Oh, here's the Freddy Venom I was talking about. Let me see if it says.
Expensivest.
Most expensive.
Is that a word?
Everybody
So-
listening
It is
right
if
now
you're
was
two
wondering,
chains.
what is the most
We
expensive
were wrong on
Funko?
the number. They made 24 of them. So he must
okay.
have closer. He had.
He
Like,
must have 15.
He had like maybe 15 or so of them. I can't remember the exact number, but they made 24 of them. This is it right
Still
here.
leaves 9 for me and you to find.
He's worth $8,000 just for him.
$8,000.
$8,000 for him.
I thought
The
we were
most
talking millions.
expensive one is Willy Wonka's Golden Ticket 2-pack Chrome that came out in 2016. It was a San Diego Comic-Con one himself. 2-pack. $71,670 for this dual.
we could find
Who
that.
do they think they kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?
Only when I show up and see that. If I ever went to San Diego Comic-Con, which first of all, I'd have to go to California or San Diego in order to do that, so that's kind of out. But let's say I go there and I see it, I'm just like, oh man, do I want to get this in the off chance that it's worth a ton of money down the road?
That's why we have a closet full of boxes that we don't need, because we have a room.
Because we
full
take them out of the box.
Not all of them, but we do have like regular common ones. We have made like we've taken them out of the box in case they get vaulted and retired, because some of the Disney ones have gone up in price just for that. So now we got into this habit of keeping all these boxes, and our poor children have like nowhere to put any of their shit because their closet is full of empty Funko boxes
That are
which
about
we
to be
need
vacated.
Go through. Yes,
Yep.
we either need to get rid of the boxes or we need to get rid of the pops in general and put them back in the boxes and just give them away or sell them or whatever.
Do what I do. Put them in the shed in the backyard.
In a nice
tubs. Put them in
Tupperware.
tubs.
Let them
and
die.
let 'em sit.
Let him die.
This heat, that whole thing is
it'll
going
be
to melt.
fine.
You go over there, it's just a big pile of melted
It's
plastic.
going to look like Grandmaster hit somebody with the melt stick.
Oh no, I mean just the boxes. They should be fine.
Yeah, but you got to put the plastic inserts in there.
Trivia question: which one of those Funkos was our first ever Funko? I'll give you a hint. He's on the Deadpool shelf. So let's get into some news here. All right, DC is finally on the board
Damn, which one
for
is
the
the first
first time ever.
Is he up there?
Is it Cyborg?
No, it's
not
not
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Cyclops.
one? Is it
it-
Cable?
No.
Is he up there?
It's a Deadpool.
Oh, it's a Deadpool.
Yeah, it was one of
Yeah,
my
but
first ones.
is he
ever.
actually on the shelf?
It's the one where he's laying down.
He's not on the
Is
shelf.
it
the
Bob
first one
Ross?
that I bought?
Is it Bob Ross?
Oh,
No, Bob Ross is a way older one.
the first one that you ever gave me is on the
Is it the blue Deadpool?
shelf right above that.
Yeah, that's Rocket Raccoon.
Gave that one away.
Yeah, I did. They're having too much trouble trying to locate which Deadpool is the first one ever.
Is it the guy in the football helmet?
The Bucks helmet. So that is actually like an X-Force Deadpool, and I had a Jameis Winston Funko Pop that came with the Bucks helmet. And since the colors matched, I took the helmet off and put it on the X-Force Deadpool.
It was my idea.
It was an
Don't take
excellent
my
idea.
So he is now
And
a
we've done it.
Buccaneers Deadpool, which is dope.
Can you just tell me? Because that's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's the. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Or you want to guess?
I thought it was the one laying down.
No, it's the blue and yellow.
Somebody,
I've seen the blue one.
Nello guessed that one.
Did
he
you
did
really?
almost right from the start.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear you say any of that.
Well,
Anyway,
I said
moving
Bob
on.
Ross first.
Oh, okay.
Let's jump on.
I
to the
just love
news.
Bob Ross.
Yeah. So,
Funnily enough, I think
you know
my
what's
first
you know
Deadpool-
what's it's funny. What's say that again?
I think my first Funko Pop was actually the Deadpool laying down.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's doing the Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic
Yep.
Park. So speaking of things that are worth a lot of money that nobody's ever going to get, Batgirl. A $90 million movie project just canceled.
How does that happen?
They
How
go,
do you
it's
spend
not
90
going
mil?
to HBO Max. It's not going to theaters. We're just done with it.
No
You know
direct
what? Never
DVD
mind.
release, nothing. Just like, we'll scrap it. 90 million. Who cares?
We put all this work into it, but yeah,
It's
no.
not important.
How bad was it?
I'm gonna
Right.
go get on Indeed right now and try to work for DC. Like, just let me direct one thing. It doesn't even matter what it is.
Who looked at this whole movie? It was like 90 million. It's not worth it.
Like, at that point, you made it, right? Like, even like direct DVD streaming. Don't they have their own streaming service, DC?
No, HBO Max.
HBO Max, nothing. Wow.
Wow.
So you work for Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go be a director because apparently they just will give away money and just cancel whatever. You don't actually have to
Doesn't
do
even
the
have
work.
to be good.
I mean, you'd be better than Zack
So-
Snyder and Justice League.
Oh, I'd be
so.
way better than Zack Snyder and Justice League, and that's an absolute challenge, Zach. Pull up,
Zach.
Zachary.
I would really love to hear a knock at the door right now. You're like, Zach, please come have a seat. And I just love to see you guys have a director off.
Oh, that'd be great.
Dude, I'm ready because I would be your legal counsel, and we get him. We destroy him.
Point Zack Snyder.
Wow.
I got faith in you,
Oh
Noah.
boy.
What?
Rude.
How bad? What does the costume look like? Did you see the costume of Batgirl? Like,
It
was
actually
it that
looks
bad?
comic
What-
accurate. She looks fine. She looks great as Batgirl. I'm sure the movie is just, I don't know, maybe it's got great writing. I don't know.
And I mean, who really cares about Batgirl? I'm being quite honest. Like
Alicia
you saw,
Silverstone cares about Batgirl.
She was the last good one.
Yeah. Wow, I don't even know.
You
where
got
we're at now.
stuck. He's
Bro,
trying to
you
think
started
about
thinking about Alicia Silverstone in that costume. Don't play.
we did.
We're
He
not
saw
slapping
cheeks.
Don't
cheeks.
play. You saw cheeks
No,
and
no,
you're
it's funny.
like,
You said Alicia Silverstone. The first thing my mind went to was Clueless.
Wait. I think we've said this on the show
As
before, but
if.
it's not funny that Clueless, you knew that immediately. But what's your favorite movie of all time for the kids at home?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
what?
Love it. Absolutely love
That's
that
my
movie.
favorite piece of trivia about you. I try to tell people that his favorite movie is Mean Girls.
You could like stump the shit out of the world.
Man,
If we put you in a room and like, what do you think this guy's favorite movie is? Mean Girls or any other movie? I guarantee you less than 1%.
Let's press the pause button though here. Mean Girls is funny.
It is.
That's a funny ass
favorite movie though?
I mean,
not my
it's
favorite.
up there with like I have a few, but they're all pretty much across the board.
Yeah,
Right up there with Mean Girls. Like I will watch Mean Girls. It's one of those movies that if it's on,
it's on.
I will watch Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Can I get your second favorite movie of all time?
See, it's hard. I don't only have a second. Like I said, up there, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Wow.
Kill Bill. Like
What a jump.
Wait.
Me
Kill
and
Bill
John
Volume
Wicks.
1, Volume 2.
I personally prefer Volume 1
Really?
more. Yeah.
I prefer Volume 2.
Pound.
I like the 5-point palm exploding heart technique. Pai Mei is one of my favorite movie characters ever.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Pai Mei. I love it when she fights the crazy 88. You know what I mean? And she goes,
I watch those back to back. You have to.
yeah.
Once you get done watching Kill Bill 1, you got to watch Kill Bill 2. So, other DC news, there are actually two things here, or two or three. Colin Farrell wants to reprise his role as the Penguin. Great. We all want you to do that. You did a great job as Penguin. Let's see it again. Here's an interesting one. And this is where I don't want to go off on a tangent, so I'm not going to.
Oh boy.
We'll see about that.
But Shazam, there has been no conversation about a Shazam Black Adam crossover. You know why that is? Do you know why the bad guy for Shazam isn't going to fight Shazam? Because of Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Wait, what?
He is just like, the balance of power is starting to shift. No, dude, you're the Rock. So you want them to treat you like the Rock and make you this big coming attraction, even though your character is directly tied to Shazam. You both have the lightning bolts on your chest. Why wouldn't you say, tie me in with this character? Even if I beat his ass, tie me in with him.
So he's power tripping and he wants to go directly to Superman instead of his arch nemesis?
He's already talking about fighting Superman. That's why he got booed at Comic-Con. But it's like he needs to go at it with the reason he's there. Right?
Unbelievable.
Put
They
in your
both
time, bro.
they both scream Shazam
man.
to get their powers.
They do? I didn't know that about
Black Adam doesn't go, Black Adam. They both scream Shazam.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Black Adam!
So he doesn't have to make like the Black Panther fist and Black Adam.
Right. No, he doesn't. He's
Okay.
just Black Adam.
Oh.
Wow. You can't,
Which, okay.
that's like getting drafted in the NFL and like wanting to win the MVP your first year. Like you don't.
Right.
That's not how that works.
That's what I'm saying is like, why would you not want to go at it with Shazam? Why would you not want to mix it up with that guy? He's a great actor. He's one of the only successful franchises in DC. Why would you not want to be associated with something that's working?
That's like one of their best movies. That and the first Wonder Woman. Like,
Right.
You could 1 and 2 those.
Well, that and yeah, Wonder Woman did well box
The
office
first one,
wise.
the
and
first
yeah,
one.
Yeah. I just don't get it. And I think this is one of those where it's an actor that's tied to it. He's been working on it for years. He wants to be the reason DC makes it. And so they're completely doing a DC thing and overlooking the rivalry with Shazam, which is the reason he exists.
Shouldn't
See,
we wait?
and that doesn't make any sense to me as DC. I'm sorry to cut you
you're
off,
good,
bro.
you're good.
Because like I understand The Rock is like this hot commodity or whatever, but honestly, I'm sick and tired of seeing him in things. I'm gonna be quite honest. Like I used to love The Rock.
Yeah.
But every time I turn around, it's The Rock and Kevin Hart and something, and I
Yeah.
just can't freaking take it anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But as DC, you had a guy like Will Smith, who's, made a movie or two. He's done okay. But you threw him in the Suicide Squad and wouldn't give him a solo movie?
Right.
But you'll do it for The Rock.
Here's my thing. Before you start calling your shots, how about you let your movie come out and see how the people and the audience respond
Right.
to your character
Before you start
And-
calling out
exactly.
Superman.
Before you're like, Superman, Henry Cavill, you nothing. Like, come on. You can't just
Well,
do
he didn't
that.
say that. He said that he basically implied that he would be fighting a different version of Superman, not Henry Cavill's Superman, which got resounding boos because people love Henry Cavill. But I agree with you. The Rock is always the same thing. He needs a new group of creative people around him. Either they're all listening to him and yes men, and I'll go, that's great, Rock, that's great. What you should do then after that is what you should do is flex and then give him the eyebrow. I mean, The Rock is a talented actor. I remember seeing him in Walking Tall and being like, dude, this guy's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, better than your run-of-the-mill action hero. He's got a lot more depth than that. He's got a lot more presence. He's an electrifying guy. And I think in wrestling, he's an icon. So clearly he's got the chops to do it, but every role he does, he's the big, strong guy.
But it took him time to develop The Rock because The Rock came out as Rocky Maivia and he
I
was
know.
like a snoozer.
Yeah, I mean,
So he
best,
developed that character himself.
for me, the best movie that The Rock has done is just Central Intelligence. And that's just because
Yeah.
he was the funny guy and Kevin Hart was the straight man.
That is a good movie, by the way.
That movie to me was hilarious. But other than that, like you said, it's literally The Rock over and over and over again.
Like that scene in Fast and the Furious when he's in the barrio or whatever it is or the favela in Brazil. He's walking through and all those guys walk out with guns and he just gives him the eyebrow and they all of a sudden forget they're carrying automatic weapons
and from Brazil.
because
Don't give
the
0
largest
Fs.
target they've ever seen just raised his eyebrow at them. Get the fuck out of it. Sorry.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
trying to
I
work on
digress.
See, you said you weren't going to go off in a
I
tangent.
wasn't, and I did. Okay, video games. Let's move on. Knights of the Old Republic delayed indefinitely
Again.
after the studio fires their art and design director.
All these Star Wars games have been just like
Not great.
I wouldn't touch them now. If someone came to me and was like, "Hey, you want to do Star?" Nope, I'm cool.
Yep.
And I like checks, but that's one I wouldn't even touch.
I still play the one on 64 on emulator, though.
The only one that I'm like gunning for that I want to play is if they come out with the bounty hunter style game. Go find this person, go capture them, dead or alive, whatever. That game, yeah, I'll play that. Other than that, stormtroopers running around shooting at each other, I really don't care. I saw one the other day that I was like, it just occurred to me, there is no tactical value of being a stormtrooper. You show up in literally all white. So unless you're fighting somebody in the tile section, specifically the white area,
Unless you're on Hoth, you're really not
blending
you
into
have no-
anything. Even in the snow, the part of your suit that's not white is black. Hello? Hey, what's the most contradicting thing we could do? How about black and white? Great. Love it.
How many stormtroopers does it take to hit a target?
At least 70,
At least 70.
depending on the size of the target.
I've always wondered why they could never hit a target. There's like
Ever.
20 of them and 2 guys.
Have you seen their helmets?
I mean, I'd like to put one on.
I would love to. I would love to see, but their helmets just aren't practical. At that point, it's like you're putting your hand in, I don't know. What's a good analogy? Putting your hand in a backpack and you can't see where the gun is pointed, but you're just firing and you see the lasers getting closer and closer every time you move. I don't know.
Stormtroopers are dumb.
So I just need a little more range time. Darth Vader needs to, kind of let him hang out at the range for a little bit, get those skills up.
I just want to see, you know what happened is somebody went to him and was like, hey, Darth, you're doing great. We love you. You're a fearless leader. Emperor's great too. I just had a minor critique regarding the helmets for my fellow stormtroopers. I just feel they're a little bit,
straight choked out.
Hey, what happened to Bill? He went to go talk to Darth about the helmets. Darth loves the helmets. Don't bring it up.
All I keep thinking about is the helmet from Spaceballs, where it's like 19 times bigger than his body.
No, now
Darth helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just started thinking about Django. Who made these? Who made these masks?
Yeah.
Who made them?
I can't see.
Can't see.
I can't see.
Don't ask me and mine for nothing.
Speaking of video games, real quick, once Overwatch 2 comes out, you guys have been playing for a while. We should stream that.
I don't have high hopes for Overwatch.
Yeah,
2.
because he's been playing the beta for like 3 weeks now.
Ooh.
Playing the
Not going
beta,
well.
and I'll tell you what, you used to be able to do positioning on a map and catch people slipping and be able to put them down. Everything is so beefy now that flanking, there's no benefit to it. So when you flank, I caught 2 guys that normally they'd both be dead, no problem. I was able to shoot one of them, and before I could get him dead, the other guy, and it was Hanzo and Asambra, they both turned and instantly melted me because they were both, there's no, I don't know, the one tank part of it too is also rough. There's no room to operate. It's meant to be a longer fight where you're just staring at each other and shooting at each other more and more. And if your team is focused on the same target, you win. I'm not really a fan of it right now. And there was a story that came out, speaking of Overwatch 2, that was like a poll put out by Blizzard that said, hey, would you guys be willing to pay $45 for a skin? Get
What?
Nope.
I'll tell you what, I was starting to debate whether or not I was going to spend $45 on your game.
Yeah.
It's free to play, so that's great. But, I mean, I can earn loot boxes and earn cosmetics now. Now that you're going to free to play, that's great. That's your decision. But I don't need to show up and pay money for skins on the game.
The last $10 they got me for was that Luchador Reaper.
Yeah.
I had to have
Of course.
It was
I
good.
had to have it.
Some of them are great.
But I'm not paying $45 for a skin.
No,
like
never.
you said, I honestly wouldn't even buy Overwatch 2 if it wasn't free to play. And I still don't even know if I'm going to download Overwatch 1.5.
Right.
Is that where video game is shifting? Like they're willing to release the game for free, but they're gonna get you on more microtransactions, whether it's for DLCs and or skins or whatever the hell that looks
Absolutely.
like, or guns or whatever it may
Well,
be.
now, listen, Fortnite has put every single IP in existence in their game, and it works.
It does.
But I'm not playing it. It's because it's just too many toxic people. It's just not a fun game for me. And Overwatch is looking, since Blizzard has changed, because all of us old heads that played Diablo 1 and have worked through StarCraft and have been with Blizzard are used to a specific product. And now somebody recognized that Blizzard is a notable name, is a great studio that people trust and people like to patronize. And so they took that and said, all right, so we're going to take your great name that people flock to, and we're going to put this business model to it because this business model makes money. But what they don't realize is that's so transparent. And you see it and go, okay, no. So now you've lost me because it's not the same great product. Now it's a money grab.
Agreed.
I'm of two minds. Like, I don't mind the money grab if the game is still the same and still great.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, if Overwatch 2 came out and it was great and they had loot boxes and they had skins that I could pick up for $5 or whatever,
Down with that.
I'm down with that. But I'm not going to pay $45 for a skin.
When you're frustrating me though in the beta 9, I understand it's beta, and I will be so happy to be wrong and be the guy who goes in day one and plays it and goes, okay, this isn't a third as bad as I thought it was going to be. I love it. Then sure, they might get some money, but like we're talking $10 at an event to get some loot boxes and see what we're going to get. Now they're talking $10 for one skin.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's Call of Duty type.
It is.
Ever since Activision and Blizzard kind of merged, that's what their model has been.
yeah. Well, it happened.
Even
like you
even
said, it
in
happened
Diablo
after
Immortal,
Fortnite.
even in Diablo Immortal, it's the same thing.
Which Diablo Immortal, you could tell when was the try to grab you to make it fun, and then there is a hard cap and a flat wall right in front of you that's like, well, unless you buy this, you're going to be grinding for weeks.
Forget getting any gems by playing the game because that's just not going to happen.
Right.
I feel like, and obviously I'm speaking out of turn here because I do not play video games, but I
at this
feel
point,
like
you've seen enough video games to be an expert.
Plenty of video games, but I feel like the Fortnite argument is a solid one, and it's a solid business plan because Fortnite definitely was I think, I mean, obviously that's not the only crowd, but it was definitely aimed more towards like kid shooting games and that sort of thing, and making it a fun, colorful, whatever. And every Xbox or PlayStation account has to be linked to some sort of financial bank account or card or whatever. It's just how they're all set up. So these kids are on these programs or on these games playing these whatevers, winning these whatevers. This is my game speech because I have no fucking idea what I'm saying.
Playing the whatever,
the game things
winning
with
I don't know.
With the doodads and the buttons. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like it was kind of like a money grab idea that they could go on there with a bunch of kids that are spending their parents' money on skins and shit, and it's just kind of developed into everybody else's games where they want to spend money on customizations and all this other garbage.
Yep.
And, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Video games has totally changed because I was talking about this with somebody about GoldenEye the other day. I was like,
amazing game.
Y'all remember Odd Job?
Yeah.
Odd Job? Somebody would pick Odd Job and you would just look at him like, you son of a... Because he was, if you don't know Odd Job, he was a little short dude. He was a Japanese guy, and he threw a hat, and the hat would knock your head off. Not in the game, of course, but that's where he came from. And so you'd play any other character, and Odd Job barely came up to your waist.
Like, you had to make rules where, like, no one's Odd Job,
right?
Or I'm not playing.
No one's Odd Job, or I'm out.
Yeah.
And then the one kid who couldn't do anything but play Golden Gun and be Odd Job, you had to wait until his parents called for him to go home, and then you could have fun with the game. But I mean, can you imagine video games now?
I just realized what you said.
Could you imagine stuff like that? Like, oh well, we as a developer took a look at Odd Job, and we thought that it was just a little too cumbersome, so we've made Odd Job 6 foot tall, and the Golden Gun, whose point is a one-shot kill, we thought that was a little OP, so now the one-shot gun is going to take at least 3. And one of them's got to be a headshot. Like, that's the way gaming is now. You've gotten used to complaining and getting what you want, and now you realize you're not a game developer. What you want may not be what's best for the game. So now they give you whatever you want, and when you complain, they're like, well, it's what you wanted. But your problem is nobody's looking at it in a comprehensive view.
But at least back then, when you bought a game, that's the whole game.
That was the game.
That's it.
Done.
That's what I was just gonna say. When did that happen? As far as not necessarily buying skins and upgrades and customizations, but being able to earn them. When did that start?
Somewhere between PS3 and PS2.
PS4. I think.
I mean, that's where PS4 took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
But games started developing the more they relied on the network. So speaking of that Gears of War thing that we were talking about, I downloaded all of the Gears of War, and I have the Gears of War 5 book metal edition. Like, that's the only one that I look at her and I go, I'm getting whatever the best version of this game is. And she's like, great.
Whatever.
When I downloaded it, the game was 117 gigs. The disc itself, 2.32 megabytes. What is the point of having the disc?
There's
no point at all.
In order to make it run, which I don't understand.
Which you're downloading 98% of the game through the network.
Sticking the bitch in there and playing it and then taking it out and not taking up all the storage and space. What is the...
And when was the last time you bought a game day one and stuck it in the machine and it didn't already have a day one update?
Oh,
I'm going to be honest. I don't buy games day one at all anymore.
Yeah.
I'm buying Madden 23 day one.
I can't remember the last time.
They said they changed it. I'm excited. They said they changed it. They said they changed it.
There's already complaints out about it now, so I wait and I see what everyone says.
All right. Well, let's take our first break of the day because we're kind of getting into that territory. So what we're going to do is we'll take that little quick commercial break and be right back to talk movies and Marvel and the boys.
Right.
And we're back. Oh, boy. What a tumultuous 3 seconds that was, guys.
I listened to that commercial, and it was riveting.
I love it. Was it for MeUndies? Somebody once messaged us a long time ago on 7lamb. It was so funny. They're like, hey, where are you guys located? Because you guys had a commercial for my grocery store that's like a mile up the road. was like, it's not how that works.
That's pretty cool either way.
It's your
Yeah, it's based on where
it's where
you're
you
listening.
listen.
Yeah.
It's whoever's paying for the ads where you listen. That's why you listen to what you listen to.
Although I can
So that
understand
should tell you a lot
immediate,
about
like,
your
what?
community. If you're getting a lot of sex shops or MeUndies or whatever weird stuff, then hey, you might want to consider moving.
I get a lot of
might want to let me know where y'all live so I can go out there and clap some cheeks.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a fun place.
I get a lot of Spanish progressive commercials.
We're all married. Every one of us.
Yeah, everybody in this room is married.
It doesn't mean cheeks can't get clapped.
I agree.
True story.
It 1,000% does.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know.
he didn't say he had to do it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Someone needs to clap someone's cheeks in your neighborhood.
Where you live.
He didn't say he was doing. He might be going with a friend who will be clapping
Right.
the cheeks.
I am a cheek clapping advocate. You know,
Anyway, TV, movie, and
And us
Marvel.
here in the cheek clapping community are so happy to have a delegate like Ryan who is here to advocate for us. Because every time I go to my local swimming pool and I tell Rebecca I need to get some cheeks clapped, and she says, "Get away from me before I call the authorities," Ryan could be there. I would have this large African American friend of mine who says, "Yeah, sweetie, give it up to me. I heard about this on the Alter Ego podcast." She'll look up and go, "What the f is going on?" And Ryan will be like, "Clap them cheeks, baby." He'll be like, "Clap those cheeks, baby."
yeah.
I'm sorry, I just cried. Just cried a little.
I just see it as a very real scenario. That's why
Wow.
I was living there for a minute.
You lived there for a
I
solid
did.
minute, literally.
That was a good minute, too. Let me tell you.
Try to talk him through it.
I want to hope that hypothetical guy does clap it with Rebecca, though.
Yeah, Rebecca really needs some claps.
She needs
anyways.
to stop being so worried about the fact that he's a nerd. He's going to have a steady income. He'll be a great guy.
Yeah,
And hopefully he watched The Boys season 3.
Season 3.
Anyway, Jesus Christ, can we move on, please?
Yes.
Nello, focus up. Okay, so
I didn't even bring up the advocacy part of this.
nope. Jordan Peele's third movie offering, third box office #1. Why do we think that is? I haven't heard wonderful rave reviews. Like when Us came out, that's all you heard about.
Oh, was this one? Nope.
Yeah.
All right, my boy said nope.
That's what I was going to
Really?
say.
A lot of
Nope.
people
He
said
was like,
nope that I
nope.
know, too.
You know, the funny thing is Jordan Peele is, one of those guys. You either love him or you don't. And some people out there freaking love him. Some people came out and were like, "Nope is the greatest sci-fi horror movie of all time," and others were like, "This is the dumbest piece of dog trash I've ever seen."
One of my wife's cousins saw it, and he said that out of all his movies, this one was the weakest one.
I don't know who the hell Jordan Peele is, so.
Jordan Peele's the guy from Key and Peele.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So he's not the tall one.
I don't know.
That's Keegan-Michael Key. Jordan Peele's the other guy.
Yeah. Is he's acting in it, or did he direct it, or write
So
it, or
he's
what?
a big-time writer, director, and a huge horror fan.
That kind of surprises me.
Why?
I don't know, because he's
a lot of
comedic.
comedy guys have really, really dark imaginations.
Oh, well, that's true.
Key and Peele was a darker comedy.
But it was hysterical.
True.
So the thing is, Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, they go really well together.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
like Outkast when they broke up. It's like, okay. Okay. No, I'm not going to buy either one of your albums, but if Outkast comes back together, I'm down.
Yeah, call me.
Yeah.
And the irony of that is they did that Outcast skit. Love it. If you haven't seen it, YouTube.
You know
it.
what'll make you feel better? If you look into the pinwheel with your third eye. That is one of the best skits. You should look up Key and Peele Outkast. It's
My
really
favorite
funny.
skit is their football one, where they just
Yes.
say the names. I just think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
That-
pretty good.
That is some funny shit.
All right, so let's get into more stuff. MGM, the studio, lost the rights to Tomb Raider, which means they
God.
just didn't re-up it. So now there's a bidding war over Tomb Raider. Do we need more Tomb Raider?
No, I've said this before on this podcast.
At this point, she raids the tomb, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Do we need a replacement for Indiana Jones?
No.
Well, this is it. Harrison Ford said, "No mas."
Yeah, we didn't need the last 3 Indiana Joneses.
Well, the Last Crusade's not bad,
Okay.
Okay.
but the Crystal Skull is pretty terrible.
It's not great, and I thought Shia LaBeouf was going to be an excellent moving on to a new guy. I like Shia LaBeouf.
Me too.
He was terrible in Crystal Skulls. I'm not saying
Whoa,
overall.
he's not a terrible actor.
No,
That's not
in
true.
that movie.
It's not his fault, though. You look at that movie and the premises that you're working with, it's not great. Anyway, I want to move on. Let's move on from this. Here's something that 3 out of 4 of us will have an opinion on. a certain CEO of a certain wrestling organization has recently stepped down because of a lot of different reasons, what we won't get into. But now, a certain wrestling former talent who is now an executive by the name of Triple H.
Why would I not have an opinion on that? You looked at me when you were talking about me not having an opinion.
So Triple H is...
He was about to mute me.
You are the first person that has ever been muted that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Who's my favorite wrestler?
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Yes.
Triple H.
Okay, then. Why wouldn't I have an opinion?
She likes him because
I thought it was
like
that yes guy.
Daniel
no,
Bryan.
I do like Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
But no, Triple H has always been my favorite.
Daniel Bryan is a knockout.
Especially when he had the
Hacksaw
long
Jim Duggan.
hair. I liked when he had the long hair.
Triple H is now the head of WWE
And
Creative.
who's surprised? Truly. He's married to what's her fuss? What's
Stephanie
her face?
McMahon.
What's her fuss?
What's her nuts?
What's her nuts?
I always thought that was a gimmick.
Right.
They're really married. They
But
have
it's
kids
real.
And shit.
Yeah, I still thought it was a gimmick, even
Yeah.
though it's real. I'm like,
They've
Yeah.
got like
so
lots of
this
kids.
is like an arranged marriage, but you just did it to get rich.
So apparently the big rule was nobody gets to talk to or date the boss's daughter when Stephanie was coming around WWE. Like there's a couple stories, like one of them's a Big Show where they were walking through a store trying to buy something and he saw Hunter kissing Stephanie McMahon and turned around and ran out of the store because he didn't want to be caught there if Vince walked in and saw them.
Yeah, he didn't even want to witness it.
So anyway, Triple H, long story short, down the road, is now the head of WWE Creative, and he has been for a long time
Right, that's what
the
I'm
head
saying.
of NXT.
Yes.
And that has been shown as the better program. Now,
Can
do
he
we think
save the WWE?
that's my question? Is because Vince McMahon, I think after a while you do wrestling for so long that you've seen everything forever, and that's Vince McMahon. At this point, he's like, what if we had somebody? You guys remember the guy that would puke on demand way back when? What was his name?
wow, no.
Yeah, there was a guy, and that was his whole shtick, is he would puke on people. And that was something that Vince McMahon loved. All these guys that come out looking like clowns or like idiots and doing things that you wouldn't normally think they would do, that is directly a Vince McMahon thing.
The Attitude Era was amazing, though.
Right.
We have to agree.
But that was getting lightning in a bottle. So Stone Cold was supposed to be a villain. People were supposed to hate him. And then he smacks his boss. The crowd goes wild. And then they go, okay, they like that. We're running with it. That's not a Vince McMahon thing. That was a Vince McMahon failed plan that failed up. You know what I mean? And then you grab Stone Cold Steve Austin and ride to the top. But I think now that he's gone, you're going to see a lot of potential wrestlers that maybe have been on the undercard or that you don't really know anything about that are starting to get pushes and starting to get better and better matches. I think this Vince McMahon leaving for WWE is the last chance they have to really, really save it. I can't say that. That's not fair because they're the biggest promotion in the world and they're very successful and a lot of people like them. But to me, or those who grew up in the Attitude Era, it's garbage right now. It's
Agreed.
terrible.
Agreed.
I just want The Rock back and that Texas rattlesnake, and I might actually watch it.
Yeah.
But even so, like the problem with the WWE is that for the past 10 years, he's had no competition.
None.
He's had to compete against himself. SmackDown, he had to create his own shows.
Right.
So when you get that big and you don't have to worry about somebody breathing down your neck,
Yeah.
you could just slack.
That's not
You know
to
what I'm
say that
saying?
he's not a genius and that he hasn't created something great, because he has. But
But how much
It's
of Brock
just
Lesnar
getting
and Roman
terrible.
Reigns can we take, man?
well, I mean, Roman's really worked his ass off to get where he is, and I think he's done a great job. But I agree with you. It's time to have somebody hold the championship belt that you don't expect.
Like Mick Foley. When Mick Foley won, I'm like, holy shit, wow.
That's who won the Monday Night Wars, was Mick Foley by himself. So I don't know who's there, but I got to say this. If you gave me the opportunity to sit in front of one program for the rest of my life, right now, I'm looking at AEW.
Agreed.
I am not even turning WWE on for a second, no matter all my heroes that I know and love and guys that I know that are on the roster that are great. AEW is just a better program, and that is currently run by the wrestlers, not by creative writing teams that don't know how things are going to go over for a crowd.
But it's getting watered down too, AEW.
It has to at a
Lately.
certain point. It has to. If you want to reach a larger...
But we got to give credit Vince McMahon. He took out WCW at its peak. That whole NWO spiel.
He took down
Hogan.
Bill Goldberg.
You know what I mean?
I mean, crazy.
I mean, that's big.
Yeah.
That was big.
But he also had The Rock, Austin, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Kane. He had some hitters on his side too.
Yeah.
He had DX, who was willing to literally ride up to their program live.
Suck it.
Oh, that's right. They did do it outside the stadium.
They
Didn't
showed up, and people from the WCW crowd were cheering for DX.
Was it in a
on
tank?
their program.
Was it in a tank?
No, it was a Jeep. But that's crazy.
Yeah. And they need better announcers nowadays, too.
That's true.
I mean,
Jeez.
missing Jim Ross for sure.
Jim Ross is on AEW.
I know,
killing
that's what
it,
I'm saying.
Crushing it.
Lawler was really good too when he was commenting.
When it was Lawler and Ross, that was some of the best. But the old school WCW guys, half of their calling team is now with Jim Ross, and it's like the perfect storm.
Is Bischoff over there?
I don't think so.
No.
And they let guys go out and do commentary now. Like Jericho will go out and just commentate on a match.
Isn't it his? Isn't
No.
it Jericho's?
No.
Whose is it? Who owns?
It's Tony Khan.
Tony Khan's.
But the wrestlers have a lot of skin in the game over there at
My
AEW,
favorite
which is why
wrestling
a lot of guys-
organization was ECW.
Right.
I love that.
That
But I
doesn't
love
surprise
that
me. It
hardcore
also
stuff.
happened in Philly, and you're a big Philly boy, and you're a little homer, so that's okay. You can enjoy ECW even though it wasn't as good wrestling.
Oh, come on.
Now, entertainment, sure, it's entertaining, and they had Paul Heyman, who's the greatest promoter of all time. But anyway, I think
character development.
I think Triple H has a chance to pull this 747 up.
Can they survive? Like, he's going to have to do some things that might go against, I'm sorry, I'm going here, this woke mentality. Will they be able to bring the Attitude Era back?
Yeah.
And still be
people
not
want that.
canceled, quote unquote?
Yeah, people want that. I think the culture as a whole is shifting towards getting away from some of that woke nonsense. Because now when you see the woke nonsense, when you know it's nonsense, because a lot of things get thrown into that category. So we got to hit it with a broad stroke. Some of it is legitimate. Some of it is really crap. And when you see some of the real crap, you just go, it's happened to every single one of us, right? You watch something like, well, look what happened in the NFL. When certain things started happening that were controversial, so many people just said, I'm done. I won't watch it. I want nothing to do with it.
They shut it down entirely as opposed to...
So when they start pulling that back, they might get the reverse effect and get some more people coming back over.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So we had some more stuff to talk about, but we're going a little bit over in time. Andor, that trailer drop for that show looks great.
Sexy.
But it also got delayed a month before it comes out. So it's now coming out in September instead of August, but whatever. I'm happy it looks good. Netflix is already developing the Gray Man sequel and a spinoff that will explore more of the Gray Man universe. That's another one that I'm just getting tired of hearing.
Who the hell's the Gray Man?
Explore the universe.
Yeah?
I've heard good things, but I heard that Ryan Gosling and the Russo brothers are also both tied on for the sequel to come back. So clearly he doesn't die.
Gosling is amazing.
He's excellent. And the Russo brothers, we already know. So that
if he
makes me
becomes
wanna watch
Ghost
it.
Rider, I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited.
Let's see how he is as Ken first before we put him in the Ghost Rider.
I'm sorry. One of these things is not like the other.
That was the point. That's why I said that.
Before he becomes a spirit of vengeance, let's see how he does with the Barbie girl.
That was the point I was making.
Where he comes out with the flaming chains. Let's see how he is in jorts and a cutoff.
I mean, let's see how diverse he can be.
Okay.
Only thing I know about Ryan Gosling is he can't play corner for shit.
He was an absolute liability in Remember the Titans.
He was bad.
Just
Anyway.
getting beat. That's all
Gray
I'm
Man
saying.
was good.
Yeah,
You
but
should
he did
watch it.
come in the clutch.
Yeah.
And play hard. Play his heart out. Good for you, Ryan Gosling. Although most men judge you by your performance in Remember the Titans.
Yep. That's pretty
Just
much
gotta say
where-
that.
That's where it is.
We like your movies. You're a good guy, but listen, you should have never let you get burned so many times and Remember the Titans.
Dude, not
Throw
only
it to 40. He can't keep up.
he's also winning in life. His wife is Eva Mendes.
Girlfriend, bro.
is that a good
Girlfriend.
thing?
They're not married.
Is that not
I
a
still
good
got
thing?
a chance.
I mean, I think I did okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not
I
saying
look
we
real
didn't
cute
win in
right
life
now.
either, but I'm just saying he not only wins on the screen, but he wins in life. Like, it's just an overall winner, except
He's
for
a
football, apparently.
Famous rich movie star. Yeah, it sounds like a bad beat. I would not want to be that guy. Let's go on to Marvel, shall we? How about one of my favorite actresses to be in the entire MCU right now is Miss Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel. Mm-hmm. Not only is she a great Miss Marvel, but in real life she's doing Miss Marvel things, a.k.a. creating Reddit accounts to go
she
on.
straight up trolls people. It's outstanding.
For the people.
Yes.
It's so funny.
What are the kids saying now? She understood the assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she did.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
It's a TikTok thing.
okay.
Is it?
It's a TikTok thing.
I thought it was a YouTube thing.
Whatever.
Nope, it's
Maybe that's
TikTok
where it
thing.
started. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
good for
understood
her.
the
I don't know how
assignment.
Reddit works, so
I understand the assignment. Sorry. Sorry. But that's the thing. Ryan, that's the thing.
That is a thing.
That's
That
the
is a
thing.
thing.
okay. Well, we'll circle back to that.
Or we won't.
I'm so excited. to see
Speaking
this
of our
thing.
most recent episode, Thor: Love and Thunder is now officially the worst rated Thor movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't
Oh,
intend
man.
Do you think people share our sentiment about it or what?
I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
a lot of people that have such mixed emotions that they didn't like it.
I just feel bad for Rob because he's probably never going to watch it.
Oh,
Yeah. If Rotten Tomatoes says no, our good friend Robert Lamb of Seven Lamb Productions will not watch
no.
I didn't think it was
refuse.
that bad.
it. He lives and dies by that. I actually did a podcast very recently with Mark Hoffmeyer from Movies, Films, and Flicks. I will definitely be linking everybody when it comes out. But we discussed all the Thors in order, in chronological order, and Thor: Love and Thunder came in fourth place for both of us.
Was that just an episode with the two of you?
Yep.
Nice. I'll definitely, not that I would be upset.
I'll try to
Other
throw it
people
in our feed here too, so we can
Yeah.
take a look at it. But
like to hear it.
anyway, yeah, worst rated ever. I don't know what that means for that. I don't think Thor's going anywhere.
No.
Chris Hemsworth is definitely, even though that's the worst rated Thor, it's probably rated better than a lot of other movies. And Chris Hemsworth really can do no wrong as Thor in our eyes, even
No, he
though
cannot.
that movie wasn't that great. Oh, golly, so much to talk about. Jon Favreau tried to stop the Russo brothers from killing Tony Stark, trying to keep Mr. RDJ in the business.
I needed that snap with the.
See, I am super glad at least somebody had some gosh damn sense.
Gosh damn.
Gosh, heckin'.
I'm trying not to
Heckin'
curse
shoot.
anymore.
I know. It's the worst.
So hard.
So Jon Favreau called the Russo brothers after he read the script for Avengers and urged them not to kill Tony Stark. According to Variety, Favreau said, "You can't do this. It's going to devastate people." That was the payoff. That was the whole point. If you don't kill Tony Stark in the Endgame movie, you literally lose nobody. You lose, I take that back, you still lose Black Widow. That hits hard. But Tony Stark, the guy who's carried this franchise on his back, you had to lose somebody really, really meaningful, and you lost 2 Avengers in that movie. It had to happen.
No, I agree with him. I didn't need Tony Stark to die.
I agree with Jack. You needed that. You needed that emotional payoff. Like you needed that. Otherwise, oh snap! It's over. Hey guys, we're all here. Like you needed that last scene where they're all at the funeral.
And it was pretty iconic that it was him of all people because that's where it all started.
Not to mention, let's talk about the first ever Avengers, the first argument he and Cap have. Cap's like, there's always an excuse for you. You're not the one to lay down on the wire. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice.
See, and that's exactly why that didn't pay out for me because I'm like, they're just gonna do it just to do it.
That was the whole arc of his character development. Was he went from like selfish prick to
Still selfish prick.
unselfish.
It was still Iron Man.
Okay. No character development, huh? You must be a big fan of the Hulk.
I am a big fan of the Hulk.
No, that's bullshit. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Don't do that crap. No one wants to see Banner and the Hulk spliced.
I'm also a big fan of a guy named Adam Warlock and a story done right. Mm-hmm. Just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
Where he doesn't have to die anyway because they all come back. So
true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, we didn't have Fat Thor in the comics either. That worked out really well. Hela was Loki's daughter in the comics. That worked out pretty well.
The Enchantress was in the comics.
The
and we haven't
Enchantress
seen that bitch yet.
existed.
And she's one of the greatest villains of all time for the Thor realm, at least.
Sure. It's definitely a big villain.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to nitpick here.
So what happens if Iron Man... So how do you end that movie? So Iron Man lives. What do you do to get that dramatic connection with the audience? What do you do? You can't just end it. Hey, snap.
Tag me in, coach.
Like, I don't get it. Whoever wants to take
I'd
it.
like to argue both sides, but the question was posed to you. I'll let you answer first.
Like, how do you answer? Like, what do you do? If he doesn't die, what do you do?
I don't know. I think they win and that's it.
Oh, that's boring.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
you can still have the montage of Steve going and returning the
Yeah.
stones, and then you do exactly what you did. You show the world over getting their loved ones back, and the joyful reunion of Tony Stark with his family and his daughter, and then you could still carry it off like that. But to me, you need the sacrifice. And kudos to Black Widow. I love her, but that movie's magnitude was so big, you needed more than just her.
He's right. I mean, I think he's right, I should say.
I mean, and then imagine the publicity for that. Oh, yeah, you guys did that, and all you did was kill the girl Avenger. All the big three, all the big guys survive.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I'm still down with it because I like the fact that he goes from I've got an excuse for everything to okay, me dying is the only reason and the only way everybody comes back, so I'm going to do it. I like it. Anyway, let's not get hung up on that, shall we? Let's go on to Secret Invasion, starring Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. This is apparently going to be a crossover event. So this show is going to bleed into a lot of other shows, and it's going to be spearheaded by Mr. Nick Fury and Talos, who we met in Miss Marvel. Not Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel. Thank you. And they are going to go over scenes like at the end of Spider-Man Spider-Man Far From Home, and at the end of WandaVision when the Skrulls are showing up and giving people missions, like when they talk to Photon, or when the Skrulls like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or he says, I've been talking to Nick Fury. And they're like, Nick Fury's been off-world for a long time, man. So that's going to tie in all that. It's going to tie in over a lot of different stories as well. I'm so hyped for this. I think it's going to be great. And then they say they're going to see them again when Miss Marvel comes back around. But the full story was from comicbook.com. Secret Invasion is a newly announced series heading to Disney Plus to star Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as the Skrulls Talos, however you want to say it. Characters who first met in Captain Marvel. The crossover event series showcases a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls who have been infiltrating Earth for years. That's a long time. That's a lot of development. That's a lot of story that's happened in that time. Imagine that too. Just imagine a scenario where, like, Sharon Carter is a Skrull. That's one that I think is.
High five.
So Sharon Carter, I think, is a Skrull. So Sharon Carter real version snapped away for 5 years. Sharon Carter Skrull version has been around and working in the shadows and painting this big story for them. Anyway, Secret Invasion pulls on threads from Spider-Man Far From Home and WandaVision, both ending in post-credit scenes to shape-shifting Skrulls impersonating humans in positions of authority. It's expected. Oh my God, I can talk. It's expected the series will tie in with the upcoming Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels, releasing in theaters next July, as both will feature Fury and Talos. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited.
Is it though?
What are you anti on this one?
I don't know. I just don't have
I
much
don't
faith
know.
right
It's
now.
Samuel L. Jackson, man. It's Nick Fury, man. It's Nick Fury. It's just Nick Fury.
What's your motto, Ryan?
What motto?
I ain't gonna watch that.
I ain't watching that. Yeah.
He will watch it though, because we'll have to do a story on it.
No, I'll watch it. My faith is, I'm not a believer right now. Feige, you got to do something, bro. You're losing me.
I don't know. The Disney Plus shows have been pretty good, except for
I think
Miss Marvel.
if anything, they've been ramping up to gain everybody, and I think things are going to happen in the universe that are going to be fantastic.
Isn't this supposed to kick off this whole fourth phase or fifth phase or whatever the hell's going on?
So speaking of the fourth phase, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We've all heard that the tone is going to be a lot more mature. It's going to be crazy. We're going to lose some of our favorite Guardians. It's going to focus heavily on Rocket Raccoon, but the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is coming out soon. And James Gunn has come out and said it is an epilogue to Phase 4. And it is required material before you watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's wild. So you got to watch the Disney Plus holiday special before you can watch Guardians 3? I wonder if Adam
in
Warlock gets introduced in that.
It's in that order, right? That's
Yeah.
how they come out? Okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be really dumb if it wasn't.
Here's another one that they're coming out and saying this is going to have a dark turn, which this is slightly concerning, but at the same time, I'm kind of okay with it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is another one that they're coming out and saying, yeah, this is going to be a hard left turn. It's going to be a departure from the series. And here's the quote from Peyton Reed, who's the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. We're thrilled to get to do a third Ant-Man movie and do a trilogy. And if we knew we were going to do what we wanted to do, some things, if we knew, oh my God, and we knew if we were going to do what we wanted to do, some things differently. Oh my God, read that sentence for me.
Which one? Ant-Man and the Wasp? No, this whole sentence here. We are thrilled to get to do a third Ant-Man movie and do a trilogy. And we knew if we were going to do that, we wanted to do some things differently.
Okay.
You read it exactly.
So I read it exactly. It's just poorly written. Thanks a lot, IGN. But they wanted to do things differently. We really wanted to make a hard left turn and make a movie that was even more epic, but still progress the story of these family dynamics and everything that's going on between Scott, Hope, and Cassie. First of all, I'm excited that Cassie's part of the team now. That's going to be cool. It's going to add a lot of different elements for an Ant-Man who's looking out for his daughter and his girlfriend or love interest, whatever you want to call her.
Is the security team going to be in the movie too?
They've got to be.
Right? I
mean,
love
right?
that guy.
At this point,
narrator
they
guy,
need,
whatever?
they need T-Pain. They need Michael Pena. T-Pain. Not T-Pain.
T-Pain.
T.I.
T.I., yeah.
Dave, as his name. Who are you? Dave.
Dave.
That's Truth Serum. Anyway, yeah, and we've got to have a run back of the MCU from Michael Pena with all of the characters,
Amazing.
including RDJ, being like, "Oh man, I'm gonna snap these fingers and kill myself!" Bam! And they actually show RDJ do that. If they do, that will be the biggest laugh any movie has gotten. Especially if they do one with Thanos, where Thanos shows up and he's like, "I'm gonna kill all of you, man," but in Michael Pena's voice, and you see, oh god,
That'd be awesome. That's gonna happen. Right?
How amazing would that be?
That'd be so good because I'd love to hear it in his accent.
In his accent,
Yeah.
and the actual actors delivering it, especially Thanos. I would actually rather see Thanos do a Michael Pena recap than Tony Stark.
This sucks. I don't want to pay this ultimate price, but I have to. Sorry, bye. And snap.
Thanos was all conflicted because he's like, man, I saw you chop my head off. I'm gonna come back and kill all of you.
Dude, I know this is a theory and I shouldn't bring this up, but
And then Baskin Robbins found out.
Oh my
They
god!
always find out.
I was reading a whole theory about how like Krang the Conqueror, Kang,
Kang.
he altered the timeline so that
So
Tony
stupid.
Stark did die.
Stupid.
I read that on Reddit. I thought it was interesting. Because
So-
he's so afraid of Tony Stark being so strong, so he like altered the timeline so that Tony Stark had to snap, which just ties into the whole thing we were talking about before.
Here's the thing that I saw that and I thought immediately that it was kind of ridiculous because
You
Kang
also knew I was going to fall for
is
that.
the one who creates the timeline, and the only person that Kang can battle with is other versions of himself. They're the only ones strong enough to mess with him. Not to mention in the TVA, they have Infinity Stones as paperweights. So it's like the ultimate power means nothing to Kang. So if he's not worried about Infinity Stones and Soul Stones and Gauntlets of Power, he's not worried about Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But I could see why somebody would want to bring that theory because they're just like, that's why Iron Man had to die and he's my favorite. Sign my poster. Okay, we're going to take a second break for the
Sign
day.
my poster.
And then we're going to be right back into it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in just a moment.
Oh, you should
And
push
we're
that
back.
undo button for the end of freaking Endgame so Tony Stark doesn't die.
Oh, my
Where's
God.
that undo button?
Sorry, he got Control-Alt-Deleted.
Well,
And they went to
Ouch.
the garbage can and deleted him again.
Damn.
That's how you know you're not getting him back unless
that's
you're
rough.
unless you're in IT, but whatever.
I don't know. I just hope his movie career doesn't take off too much and he got to come back a MCU.
Got any more of those Iron Man?
You got any more of those Iron Man roles?
I think he could. I think that's something that could definitely happen, especially multiverse timeline. Which RG Day doesn't have to work another day in his life.
No.
But if he decided he wanted to come back, A, they'd write him back in instantly. B, he would only have to do the CGI stuff. He doesn't even have to do anything physical. Anyway, She-Hulk. Speaking of Ryan Gosling, there is a Ghost Rider Easter egg in the trailer. So there's a scene where Wong is walking in, and there is a poster for the great Johnny Blaze sitting on the door there. So that is almost a guarantee that Mr. Ghost Rider's definitely in their plans going forward.
When Wong's in that scene, did she bow?
No.
Ooh. Customary to bow to the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme, yeah. He got it on a technicality, but you still got to bow.
Yeah.
Anyway. And they also came out and said that Daredevil is not a cameo in this show. He's not a series regular, but he's not a cameo. He's in it more than just showing up and going, hey, what's up? I'm Daredevil. Isn't this cool? Bye.
I'm just down for more Charlie Cox.
Me too. Speaking of which, when his show comes out, we will be having an episode of Daredevil once every week for 4.5 months.
Sign me up tomorrow.
18 episodes coming out. So there's going to be a lot of Daredevil.
I'm not watching that.
You didn't like Daredevil?
I have not watched it.
See, that's why you're saying that, because you didn't watch it. If you'd watched Daredevil, you'd be like, this is the best Netflix Marvel show aside from Jessica Jones.
They're like 1 and 2.
Jessica
Subjective.
Jones season 1 is great. Jessica Jones season 2, don't even bother. Punisher season 1, mwah, chef's kiss. But Daredevil, all of Daredevil's
All
good.
of Daredevil's good.
See, I just want to watch The Punisher.
Would not.
What?
I just want to watch.
Oh, I thought he
There's
said
a
would
rumor
not.
I just
that,
want to see Frank Castle people.
You will see that if you watch that show.
Watch the show.
Yeah.
He Frank Castle's a lot of people.
Daredevil season 1 and 2 and Punisher season 1. That's it. You'll love it. Anyway, I'm not going to go into She-Hulk, although I got into some spirited debates with people online over this.
Did you?
I did.
He did.
I did.
Did you own those fucking nerds?
Whoa.
I did not own the nerds. However, I did what I tried to do and throw different points of view. Somebody said, nobody asked for Woman Hulk.
That's stupid, though.
It's so dumb.
That's dumb.
Like,
that
first
wasn't
of all,
my point. But
first
that's
of all,
dumb.
no, it's not your point. But I just see that and I'm like, are we not? So first of all, people, if I'm having to tell you this and this is new information, great. I'm glad I'm educating you. But She-Hulk was from the 1980s. She's been around a really long time. She's at what if 1980 she came out, then that makes her what, 42 years old?
Didn't she show up in the original show too?
She's been around for a while. She's not the Hulk. I get that. But the main story of the post was that Hulk is regressing. I'm like, it's character development, guys. And when somebody says nobody asked for this Professor Hulk, first of all, that's not true. A lot of people said they wanted to see Professor Hulk. A lot of people want to see Maestro. A lot of people want to see Joe Fixit. A lot of people want to see Worldbreaker Hulk. The story doesn't just get there in one series. They are long playing the Hulk because they can't do his solo movie, so they're giving you all the character development they can through the Thor movies, through Avengers, and now through She-Hulk, and which is going to culminate, I think, in that World War Hulk TV show.
Okay, but Banner Hulk is boring.
He is.
Okay,
He is.
Everybody's. I want Hulk smash. That's it. I don't care about She-Hulk. Great, She-Hulk, cool. Woman Hulk, yay! But I want Hulk smash. Damn it.
What's your favorite part of the Hulk smash?
I like when
that
the Hulk
whole
just
moment.
jumps in and just destroys anything and everything in his way. His team, your team, my team. There are no teams. It's Hulk versus everybody. I just love that.
So there's.
I love that. So
the
I know.
the
I'm
build
sorry.
up, the build up to that doesn't matter. You just want the part where he's already green.
Dude, when he showed up in New York and the Avengers and he just destroys everything in his way is amazing.
Except for obviously his fellow Avengers, but yeah.
Right.
He does punch Thor, but that's it.
It's one of my favorite parts, though. And Hulk smash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Great.
was actually just thinking Professor Hulk when he was like doing the thing with the car.
A little
It's like,
gratuitous, but
yeah. That's what I
So-
was just laughing at. Not at you. I just thought about that.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
get
I know.
that, and I love it. And I'm a big fan of the Let Loose Hulk.
I
for
love
sure.
Let Loose Hulk.
But that's what I think. This is the whole story arc. They're having him try to have the best of both worlds because the Hulk, the real Hulk, essentially told Banner, F you, dude. I'm not helping you because all you ever want to do is shut me up and put me away. So I'm not coming to help you. You can just go out there and die. And so that is the Hulk there. So then Hulk goes into the lab and goes, I know how I can generate this body. But we all know that's not the Hulk.
Nah.
See, I always thought it was the opposite. I thought Banner was tired of being the Hulk. From what I when I remember reading
he
it.
doesn't like the destruction that comes from it, but he's not driving. The Hulk is an actual persona on its own, and it takes the wheel and does. And Banner can kind of make suggestions and guide towards it. There's remnants of Banner there, but it's not Banner. So that's why Banner doesn't like it. Hulk likes it because he likes being controlled by himself. So now Banner really has both hands on the wheel. He's got the body and he's got the consciousness. And I think through his tutelage of She-Hulk and seeing her be able to do everything that he can't so easily, that's going to frustrate Banner.
Yeah.
And Banner is eventually going to get frustrated so much that good old persona from the Hulk is going to end up coming out.
I'm ready.
And
want
when
it.
that Hulk puts his hand on the wheel, we're going to have real trouble. I'm talking call the Avengers, call Captain Marvel, call everybody. We're going to need to try to handle this Hulk business because he's lost his mind and he's gone. And that's what the payoff is. That's going to be such a sweet moment
But
if it
we
happens
pretty
that
much-
way.
we pretty
If not,
much-
Marvel, call me. I'll write it for you.
But we pretty much know what's going to happen in the Marvel universe for the next like 2 or 3 years. Don't
Yeah.
you feel like we would have? I mean, maybe not, but don't you feel like we'd have some sort of nod to that being a possibility in the future? Like, where would that fall in the
Sure. She's got
phases
a
that are
point.
coming out?
I'm so glad you asked that because I have a tie-in for that.
No, I'm truly like I just
Wow, you indirectly tied that in there.
So-
You knew somebody
And
was
I
going to bring
do.
that
That's
up.
why I put the stuff in the order I do. Okay, so phase 6, love it. Right,
Oh,
phase
damn
5.
it. Wait, 4 years, 5 years for this shit?
But you're still going to have a lot of Hulk in the meantime. Doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to go away. But so phase 6, you have 3 announcements so far. You have Fantastic Four and 2 Avengers movies. We have a release set for fall of 2024, 2 for fall of 2024, 1 for winter 2024, 1 for spring 2 for spring 2025, 1 for winter 2025, then Avengers. Then you have 2 for the summer of 2025, and then the other Avengers. There is so much story that we know nothing about.
Okay.
Do you think?
So there's a lot of things that are developing right now, and instead of giving you guys the universe out there, the fans, the instant gratification of you want the Hulk to go crazy, there he is. Well, now it's over because
we're
you've
gonna get
got
the
it.
build up again.
Let's build him up. Let's
we
have
think-
him. Yeah.
We think we're gonna have Mark Ruffalo of all actors for 25 fucking years. Excuse my language, but truly,
I mean,
That's
she's got
four-
a point.
that's
What's
four
he gonna do?
effins on this show.
What's he going to do? At 2027, come out with a walker and a cane and try to Hulk smash? Like, I don't understand what
yeah, he's not what's his face. He's not Paul Rudd,
Sure.
who's gonna live forever.
Oh, yeah, Eternal.
Yeah,
Paul
but-
Rudd could be a real Eternal.
It's okay.
really could.
It's okay for Mark Ruffalo to look old. All they got to do is CGI some gray on the Hulk.
Oh, and then we get Old Man Hulk.
Maestro.
Yeah, that's the one.
Maestro is the gamma.
I knew there was a name. I could see
For the
it.
record, until like a couple weeks ago when I heard the name, I also told him as Old Man Hulk. So I'm right there with her.
I saw him in my head.
Read the Maestro storyline, guys. Go read it. It's amazing.
Is he like?
Will I be an old man by the time we get there? Will I be like Joe Biden,
Yeah, I
like
don't
not seeing what I'm seeing in front of me when it happens? What?
I don't know, but all I know about Maestro is it's Hulk, I think, in a coma
Yeah.
and waking up in a gamma and irradiated world that's completely desolated, and finally he wakes up as the Hulk, and they're like, "Oh God, Hulk! Thank goodness you're here." And Hulk's like, "You guys did what everybody told you not to do. Being a hero does not work. Like you're the only one that can survive out there." He's like, "Really?
Give me this.
Great."
This sounds amazing.
So Hulk jumps out into the wasteland and just slowly sits there and gets more and more powerful through all this radiation that's seeking into him. To eventually, he's like, "You know what?" He gets the Ultron complex. I know how to take care of you guys. I'm the king now. Why? Because I'm the strongest, and none of you can do anything about it.
give me this.
So I'm not going to go too much more into the story, but it's awesome. I'm just telling you, when Maestro shows up, you got bigger problems.
Marvel, I got the writer for the Maestro movies right here. Call me.
I really
So-
want to see his kids.
I don't know if you're going to get that, the old man Logan version. I don't think you're going to get that.
I don't know. I at least want to see Scar. If I don't get to see Scar, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, so that's the other
2030.
reason. It's the other reason why I don't like Thor Ragnarok, because now you have almost no reason to get that. Scar comes from the World War Hulk
Yeah.
version, or Planet Hulk rather, not World War Hulk. He comes from Planet Hulk when he ends up defeating everybody and becoming their king. He and his wife, who loves him as the Hulk, they have a child. That's Scar. And so, sorry, he was too busy going, Thorson, and throwing the ball at people and being Mr. Oh, I almost said another one. Just being a little rascally goofball out there on Sakaar. So now you don't get any of that story because he's already come back to Earth.
We don't know that yet.
So unless they go, well, Thor did, Hulk did have a child while he was on Sakaar. You didn't know that? That's lazy, stupid. I hate it.
He could go back.
Anyway.
Part of that Cosmics timeline or whatever you're talking about.
Yeah. Speaking of the X-Men, who we've been talking about for a while, turns out the X-Men from Fox are still contractually obligated to those characters until 2025.
Wow.
And those contracts all bled over to Disney. So they have to honor those contracts.
All
if
of
they're
them?
going to do anything with their contracts, they have to use the original actors. That means McAvoy, Stewart, all those guys.
So
Muy bueno.
we got 3 years till they start making a movie then.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with McAvoy.
No. They're going to do those guys right by putting them in these multiverse projects. And then they're going to say, by the way, this is our Wolverine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they'll pull back in. I think we're going to get Hugh Jackman for sure.
But I thought Hugh Jackman isn't contractually obligated anymore. Like, he's done.
He might be, but when he sees the whole band getting back together and he gets to play with Deadpool in a studio that's going to do it right and he doesn't have to do it forever, he can be in a multiverse situation. See you later.
I know somebody.
He
who would
wasn't
play a good
contractually
Wolverine.
obligated when he was in Deadpool 2, but he showed up for that.
That's because that's his boy.
Exactly.
But we need a different Wolverine, right?
I do. I agree.
Right?
We need
At
a
some
different
point
younger.
we do.
We need a younger Wolverine who's going to be in a lot of things because Wolverine is the horror of the MCU.
Like, that's it. right?
Wolverine is in almost every single property. He stops by to say hello to everyone. He killing around the world. He's the Russell Crowe of the Marvel universe. So we do need a younger one because although Hugh Jackman appears immortal, I don't think he's there.
I have somebody in mind who could play a great Wolverine.
Who's that?
I don't know his name.
Okay.
Well, that's
But
not.
that's
but
helpful.
but hold on.
That's helpful. Good
but
start.
But to say he does play another favorite character of mine, William Butcher.
Oh, yeah. Carl Urban.
Carl Urban would be an amazing.
I think the
Wolverine.
comic art is amazing. It looks great. I don't know how that would work out. I would love to see Carl Urban do that.
Just because of the edgy attitude that he has, it's like
Yeah.
really spot on.
Not to mention, he's nerd royalty. I mean, we've talked about that plenty of times. He was in Star Trek. He was in Marvel Universe. He's
Thor.
now in The Boys. He was in Thor. I mean, yeah, I'm all for it. But I think they need even younger.
Even younger?
Yeah. But speaking of William Butcher, let's talk a little bit about this most recent season of The Boys. I don't think this was the greatest season they've had. I think personally season 2 was better. I liked all the things that were happening in season 2. This one, without getting into spoilers, had some big ups and some big downs.
All right, I got you there. I'll agree there. As a whole, as like a season whole, like from start to finish, there are some letdowns, but
First
it's
of
still
all,
good.
The guys The Boys, Frenchie, Kimiko,
What's his name? MM, yeah.
Huey.
Huey,
Marvin.
Butcher. Then you get Tony Starr as Homelander, who cannot miss with that character. He's just freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Starlight,
The Deep.
the Deep, A-Train.
Ugh, he creeps me out.
I
Yeah,
fu-
no, but that's the whole point. That's just a train wreck.
I was gonna
Such
say
a
the
train
best
wreck.
thing about season 3 is that we find out that he really actually does F fish.
Get down with fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, didn't like any of that. It was really uncomfortable.
How do you think
This
the octopus
season,
felt?
Yeah,
this
for real.
season, I
Apparently,
think
the octopus liked it.
the CGI octopus.
Timothy?
We don't know.
Timothy?
I think eat fucking Timothy. All I know is this season just seemed like it was trying to be grotesque and awkward just
Oh.
for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it
The best
literally
episode.
had that episode Hero-gasm.
That's the best episode.
That was a great episode, and I loved.
And honestly, that wasn't even the episode that drew. Like, I feel like it draws my opinion to that same one. Like, I feel like that episode fit.
yeah.
But
that drove the
everything-
story forward. I
everything-
loved that
yeah,
episode.
Yeah. Everything around that episode. I mean, I feel like that episode would have been plenty.
Yeah.
But all the other shit outside of that episode,
So,
for
like-
grotesque and sexual and weird,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
a little much.
The first one, you have the boys running from the government, running from Vought, running from the Seven.
Are we going into spoilers?
No, I'm just talking about the build-up. We will go into spoilers for sure.
Because I
But
want
you
to
have-
make sure what I can say and can't say.
You have the culmination of him then finding his wife and finding out, oh, there's a baby, and oh, shoot, Homelander, it's his baby. And then there's the whole fight at the end of season 2 with Stormfront. And Maeve shows up, and it's amazing, and it furthers the story. Then you have season 3. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But the kid kills the wife, like in the fine, like he lasers her or whatever by accident.
Right, on accident.
Yeah, did we not? Is that not important to readdress?
Oh,
All of the shit
I thought that was
happened at the end of
important
season 2?
because like
Sure.
that's the whole build up between Butcher and the kid.
Yeah.
In the season
And
season
Homelander.
3. Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of what they played up, and I guess we'll get into it. We're gonna start talking about a little bit of spoilers. I personally thought it was a ups and downs. This one, if I had to give it an overall score, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But season 2, 9 out of 10.
I mean, the fact that they're still going just is enough
Right. And
for me.
season 1, having it been the original idea, 10 out of 10. It was great. I liked it. Compared to the rest of these, I thought season 1 was great. Season 2 was just as good. This one fell off for me.
I think they should have ended it here. I don't think we need a 4th one.
And
I think them drawing it out is what's killing the show overall.
I don't disagree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, okay, so we're going to get into spoilers here, guys. Here's your warning. We're an hour and 20 in. If you're still here, God, I love you so much. If you're not here, you know what? You're not going to hear this, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm sick of Homelander playing the politics. I'm ready for crazy Homelander. Mm-hmm. We've seen him. He's gotten crazier and crazier, but at this point, you're dragging it on.
You do get it at the end, though.
No, you don't.
I mean, he lasers somebody live on television.
That's true. He
Doesn't
does do that.
hide it. Doesn't care.
That's what we've all wanted
Just-
since the time that he visualized taking out that entire crowd that ended up not being real. We've wanted that since.
But the airplane, you get the airplane where him and Maeve, and he's like, "Screw these people. We can't save them all.
Little
what are we gonna do?"
isolated-
Yeah.
Little isolated incidents. That doesn't matter to me.
And the lasering of the person, it's understandable. You're in a large crowd. You just put your hands on my son.
Yeah, and you
Bye.
know I'm Superman.
Bye.
You're a superhero. You're better than that.
No, he's been
No.
on this trail publicly. Remember when they had that leaked tape of him going to Africa and being like, ooh, bam, and then lasering the guy?
Yeah.
They know he's a psychopath. They know he's out there.
yeah, but
So,
killing a random civilian in the
who
middle
hit
of,
his
like,
son.
Of a protest outside of the Vought building. It I don't know.
But they're showing through MM's daughter's stepdad
Yep.
that the public is just as crazy as him.
Yeah.
Because he shows him, he's like, yeah, good for Homelander. Homelander in that universe is the stone cold Steve Austin of their universe. He's the one going in there, and eventually when he starts saying, no, screw you people. Now, they don't see the back end where he's losing his mind and can't keep the company up, but in the public face, he's sticking it to him. And for somebody to hit his son and him just kill him, you know there's so many people out there in the world that if that happened, they'd be like, good, screw that guy. You know that.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's a commentary on today's society.
Unintentional pandering.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the first or second episode, he goes to Stormfront's bed and is like, "Here, give me your hand." Like that's crazy.
Jerk me off while I
Yeah,
talk to you.
yeah.
Like, what? He's such a God. But I mean, is that any worse than him literally drinking the freaking breast milk of that woman in season 1?
That's
like that
also
guy's
true.
a fucking
He's a
weirdo.
nut job.
It's 100% Cambodian.
Right,
Gosh,
but
he's
see, that's
weird.
what I'm saying is like that's not what the public is seeing. That's why they love him.
Yeah, we're seeing it
So
with our eyes.
That's where
Can't be unseen.
they need to see that that my favorite moment of this entire season was when Starlight was like, "Remember, I have that recording of you," and he goes, "You know what? Go ahead, release it.
Yep.
I really want you to go ahead, release it. Here's what's going to happen. You do that. First of all, I'm going to kill you.
And
I'm going to
Huey.
kill everyone at Vought. I'm going to kill Huey, and then I'm going to go." And you can tell how much he's thought about the
Yeah.
fact that he could take out the entire U.S. infrastructure and send people to the dark ages without skipping a beat.
Yeah.
And that's where you're like, ooh, I want Homelander to do this because that is the crazy that people are expecting.
But can he though? Because at the end of the season, the senator chick that was the Vought stepdaughter, the one that he got from that special home,
the head popper.
Head popper?
yeah, They go together, and she's like, let's help each other. We don't have to like each other. Let's just help each other. So I don't think he can take out the infrastructure, because I think if she wanted to, she's strong enough to pop his head.
There's an actual scene where he looks at her and says, I dare you.
to.
He says,
Yeah.
I want you to try to pop my head, see if I can't kill you before you do it. I mean, Homelander has said some pretty outlandish stuff. Like I can see the fact that you, A-Train, just ate 4 cheeseburgers and they're in your belly. He tells what's her name, I can hear you scratching, something. Like I can see Black Noir. I can see your mangled face underneath that mask. Homelander has a lot more power than people are giving him credit for.
Yeah, we're not seeing some of the shit that he can really do.
But they end up working together.
Because he tells
sends
her,
the
I'm
deed.
going to murder your child and I'll murder you. So here's what I want you to do.
Which is why
That's
he
why
dosed
she
her.
gave her the V.
That's why she
Right.
dosed her
He gave her the
daughter.
V,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he went to the deep and kind of was like, we're doing this because I'm helping this chick. Not because he's scared of her. He's doing that because
the
that's
Deep
what
is
he
a
wants.
freaking coward anyway.
Well, he's a
And he's a
patsy.
yes man.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a God. They're all weirdos.
So
Such a good show, but they're all
it is.
weirdos.
So the biggest
Sick writing, perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
addition to this show is honestly my second favorite part of it, other than Homelander saying that whole speech about how he's going to take everything out, was Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah, excellent.
Yeah. My favorite scene was Butcher and Soldier Boy whooping his ass.
Uh-huh.
And you're
Oh my
finally
gosh.
like, oh.
That's the first time you've ever seen
Oh.
Homelander scared.
and
that
the
was-
fact that he dipped, I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta see more. I'm still missing the last episode,
But
so
that's what I'm saying is like, that's why the season to me was riding high. And the only thing that ruined it was the finale. The fact that they bring Soldier Boy in and they tell Soldier Boy, hey, Homelander's your kid, bro. And he's like, really? And you're like, oh, shit. Things are about to go to hell in a handbasket because Soldier Boy is going to call Homelander and be like, son, I love you. And then you got the 2 strongest dudes in the universe saying you're all effed. And that's what you think is going into it. And then he goes in there and pulls what the same thing happened to Soldier Boy's dad. And he's like, you're so weak. You're an embarrassment. And then they start fighting and you're like, okay, somebody's going to die here. Soldier Boy's going to die. Butcher's going to die. Ryan, the kid, is going to die. Or Homelander's going to die. And you get literally none of that.
No, and
You
it
know-
ends status quo.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And we lost someone that they spent like a good probably episode and a half building up. It's
Yeah.
like there was so much put into Black Noir and his story and his backstory with Soldier Boy, and then he just dies like instantly.
That's
Right.
not
And
over.
it's not even. I didn't think so either. But it's like he didn't even die at the hands
I
of Soldier
disagree.
Boy. I'd be really disappointed if it is, and I'm afraid that it is because unless he has some sort of indestructible power that we just don't know of yet, which I
no,
doubt.
because his
But-
face is all messed up from.
You're right,
Soldier
and that's
Boy
what I'm
shit.
saying. So like I'm
Exactly.
not convinced that he isn't actually dead, but that's what's disappointing is that he had this huge, and they played so if they didn't play so heavy into his longtime vendetta against Soldier Boy,
Yeah.
and then he's killed at the hands of what's his face Homelander. I don't know why I forgot it, but he's the one that kills him, and they spent all this time building him up. It's like, first of all, he didn't even die at the purpose of what they were building him up to be,
Yeah.
and then second of all, they built him up for nothing because he died. Like he died after all of this backstory, and I don't know if it was supposed to be like him being laid to rest after all this shit that he went through, and maybe that's what. But it's just such a dumb way for him to go out, and I don't appreciate it.
And then you have somebody like Maeve, who's had probably some of the
Some of the greatest
7
story arc.
of the 7
Yep.
that's not named Homelander. She's had the best arc of any
Yep.
of the heroes.
That was legit the most disappointing thing. She
And-
just loses her powers and floats
Right.
off into the.
She goes off,
into
she
the prairie
saves
or
the
whatever.
world.
Like what?
And then they're like, well, she's gonna go be a farmer.
Delete
Well,
that. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
it. That's how it ends. Delete that. Give me
Yeah.
a break.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't see what the point is now if she gets killed by somebody. But like Homelander, in the future episodes, then there's no point. It's just the
just leave her
dumbest
alone
thing.
at this point.
Yeah, she should be written out.
And the fact that, and like, I didn't hate this season, although we're giving it quite a bit of hell right now. But the fact that they're continuing with further seasons just gives me hope and makes me not hate it as much.
In the graphic novels, Black Noir is just a clone of Homelander.
Yeah, and that's not the
Right?
case.
Isn't that- you would know
that's
better than
exactly
I
the
would.
case.
Yes, in the comic books, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander, and he doesn't knock up Butcher's wife. He rapes her and then he eats her. And so then Homelander and Black Noir end up going at it, and Homelander that's Black Noir kills Homelander. And so it's a completely different story in the comics.
Is there any way that would happen
somehow-
maybe in season 4?
I was going to say,
Somehow
maybe,
the comics are a lot more graphic than the TV show.
Which is hard to believe.
Maybe they're playing into some of that because, they tend to cherry pick from comic books and comic stories and graphic novels and stuff. When they're making these series, it's not all the same. But maybe they're trying to use that as a way to Black Noir is dead, but now we're going to have a cloned Homelander starting from here because he doesn't, he's trying to make it seem like he didn't kill him. So now they're cloning him and making him, I don't know. It's just a thought that maybe Black Noir to the world isn't gone, even though our Black Noir that it still is a shitty way for him to die.
They technically could do anything. All he's got to do is put on the suit and a black mask, and nobody would know who the hell's behind that anyway.
That's true. But they would need somebody to wear it unless he's going to wear it himself, and they can't be in the same place at the same time.
Ryan did his son grow up.
And if he clones him, does he get all of Homelander's powers? Because what is that shit?
I mean, they have a serum that gives regular people. Butcher had almost the identical powers that.
At least the
But
laser
Homelander
eyes
has.
and
that's
stuff.
the big thing that they're playing into the next season is that, well, and also in the Boys, the comic book, that's the whole point. Homelander wants to kill everybody with powers.
Yep.
He's the Baron Zemo of the Boys, right? Like, he doesn't want anybody
But
to
he
exist.
also-
So anybody that takes the V in Butcher's eyes deserves to die.
But in the comics, there isn't this temp term serum.
In the comics, when the Boys show up, they've all already taken it and have V
They've
in their
taken
system.
it themselves.
See, and that's what I.
Huey took the full, and it's the full V. There's no this temp term shit
Correct.
that's once and done. So I don't know.
And the Boys take it simply so that when they go up against a superhero, they can do something
Yeah.
and stand against them.
See,
I
I'm
bet you
glad that
Butcher
happened
takes
because
it in the next season.
as watching this, I was like, man, why don't they have powers? Because then if they had powers, they wouldn't have to back down from people and run.
They wouldn't
so
have
much.
to go through all this
Like,
shit to get Soldier Boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I mean,
now that they have that temp V and they can potentially die, I don't know. I was like, I'm thinking they're going to end up
Kim-
taking the full blown thing.
I think they are too, especially Butcher because he's about to die.
Kimiko's already taken it.
I
Yeah.
legit thought when she went to steal the green shit and there was all those blue vials, I
That
thought
she
she
was
was
gonna
just
swipe
take the
them.
blue vials and be like,
Did I
you
not
guys
say
want
that?
powers? Just
Yeah.
take this
I
instead.
literally was thinking that when we were sitting there. I was like, why wouldn't she at least take it? Because then then the Vault doesn't have it.
And the other one about
Well, they can
Or
always
Vought,
make it.
sorry,
They can always
Vought.
make
I
it.
know, I know, but they lose their current inventory.
Because
It's
once
like, at
she
least
found
she's
out that
taking
it kills your brain, like turns
Yeah.
it into mush, I figured, well, if you're going to be a superhero, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least keep it as a safe net in
And-
case they do take too much and are on the verge of dying.
Especially
Then he
for
can
Huey.
Just,
That was another one that I was interested in is like, why was Huey all of a sudden so power hungry and so obsessed when his whole
Maybe that's
arc,
what
the other
happens
two,
with
has
the
been
juice.
like, I want to do it the right way. I want to do
he's
it
a
the right way.
poosewall,
I want
that's
to take
why.
him down. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I want the power.
Okay, let's talk about men, and as the woman in the room, let's talk about men feeling inferior to their women.
In season 2,
Imagine
you see
her
that.
being, and I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be all like on the women's side of misogyny, but if you have,
This took a left turn.
I know. Well, no. I'm just saying. It's
Yeah.
like from the woman's standpoint. It's like imagine if I was 10 times stronger than you,
Yeah.
and you couldn't ever take care of me, and I was constantly saving your ass. It would be an ego crusher.
Not all of us are built
Not
that way.
always, no. And I'm
'Cause
not
I
saying
could-
that you
my
are,
wife
but
can kick my ass, and I'll say it on these microphones. I don't give a
I believe
shit.
that. I believe that though. And again, I'm not saying that based on like your personality, but like any man would feel demasculated if there was, especially. I mean, look at Huey. He's like 6'2" and weighs 118 pounds.
Yeah.
And
They have
his
been building
girlfriend
that
could
part since
freaking
season
kick
2.
ass. That's
Yeah.
true. I'm just saying it's
And
maybe
especially when you're-
that maybe it does have more to do with that than actually like feeling steroided and juiced.
And then also, you're running with a bunch of hard asses and Marvin, Butcher, and
Yeah.
who doesn't
Frenchie.
belong here? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even
Yeah.
Kamiko, the other chick, she's got powers and she's
She's the toughest one of all
Yeah,
of them.
she's the toughest of all of them.
So
for
he's
sure.
like, I'm pretty much just a cheerleader over here, and I'm
That's not true. Huey found out
trying
where
to trade in my pom poms.
where Head Popper came from, went to the school. Like,
he's
Huey
valuable
was
as
really
shit.
good. And he saved all their lives at least once.
Yeah, I mean he's smart, but smart ain't stopping the soup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to go to a random laboratory and make the most deadly poison in like 30 minutes too.
And
That's
then
all.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's all. That's it. I just want to go to a laboratory and make the deadliest poison ever
moments.
in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He got one of the worst powers you could get. Like every time I teleport, I'm butt naked.
Yeah,
Like,
that
what
sucks,
is that?
bro.
Bro, you could
Yeah.
clap
And when he
cheeks and
takes
no one would
Starlight
know.
with
Yeah.
him, and they're both naked right outside.
No, my
All I
favorite
want to
part
say
of
is
the
like,
season was
yeah,
Marvin's like,
I agree.
bro, your dick's out.
But I like powers that have consequences, and I thought it would be funny to end the show by saying a power that you want and then everybody else coming up with a negative consequence for your power. For instance, there was one that somebody was like, oh, I want to be able to look at somebody, and when I make eye contact with them, I can kill them, essentially like the Head Popper. And I said, okay, that's a great power, but every time you use it, you shit your pants.
Explosive
I can always
diarrhea.
change my pants though.
So you're down with it. Let's start with you then. What's the power that Nello wants?
Immortality.
Immortality. Okay. You can't walk.
Professor X me. I'm down.
You have to do the
Oh no!
You don't even get a power chair. All right, Ryan, what you got?
Only
I'm
get
thinking
one.
this
They
is going to
get-
be
They
cheek
get
clapping.
multiple
Yeah.
powers and
I can come up with a consequence for each of them.
I can't believe you took my legs.
I love the people that are like, I want to fly. Okay, you can only fly 6 inches off the ground.
I think I'd probably do speed.
Speed.
Would be the fast.
Damn. I'd say you have to show up butt naked. Like your clothes can't withstand the G-force. Every time you speed,
You're
you
running
show up
naked.
naked.
I'm all right.
It's quicker to click out
So
those
fast you can't
cheeks.
see me.
I'm kind of stuck between two.
into the closet.
I'm
I
kind
was thinking about the real long dong thing, though. You know,
Sure.
That would suck.
The anaconda dick would suck.
I'm kind of stuck between two, but we just watched the Deadpool movies recently, so I feel like it's probably like immortality, but maybe just being indestructible.
Wow. Being indestructible.
Invisible was my other one. Invisibility was my other one, but I feel like indestructibility would be pretty awesome.
Jeez.
Especially like strong indestructible.
She wants to
like,
be Mrs. Fantastic.
No, I want to be like what's his
Translucent?
face?
Translucent.
Not Cyborg. Who's the guy? Is that who's in Deadpool?
Translucent. Oh, Vanisher.
No, the big tin guy.
Oh, Colossus.
Colossus. I couldn't think of his name. Like him.
But when
Maybe
you
not
get old, you
actually.
rust.
I didn't mean like metal.
When you get old, you rust.
Well, what's your
And your
superpower? We're gonna
limbs fall
trash
off.
you.
Okay. Superpower for me. Oh, man. I really do like the healing of Deadpool.
Yeah.
I would want that one, actually. Oh, my God. We're through the song.
No, don't you shut it off.
No negatives for me?
Ugh.
Man, that's the worst.
Can't get boners.
This is the... Can't get bonus.
Hey, I don't like that one actually.
Oh, well,